So today, a year ago, I had my last brain surgery up in Rutgers University in New Jersey. But a lot of people that follow that story may not know my whole story. So I'm gonna take it back all the way to 2014 when it all started. This is the room in the house where I spent the majority of my time after the third surgery. That's the original healthy brain shot right there. It's kind of surreal and kind of a little bit depressing, but this is where I started my journey back to health. I was actually working a summer internship with my now business partner, mentor, boss, Brent Simpson, and I started having a weakness. I was wobbling. My mom thought it was allergies, and I was kind of falling all over the place. Then his wife saw me struggling to write and talk, so she sent me to the doctor. Then we got a CT scan, and a lesion was discovered on my brain. We were sent to George Washington Hospital, and it was further discovered after an MRI that I actually had a benign tumor on my brainstem. That tumor was later called a cavernous malformation. So I was sent home to be monitored, and within 2 days I had blurry vision. I was falling again, so we were rushed back to the hospital, and the doctors decided the best thing for me to do was have the operation. So the first surgery took place on in August 15, 2014. The surgery was a success, and I was able to recover in 2 days, and within a week or so I was back in school. Being a college kid, I decided to return to my college habits, which didn't go so well for me, and within 3 weeks I was back in the hospital because I suffered a stroke. I actually had a headache for about 13 hours in school. I had no clue what was going on, and I was by myself, and then my right side just went completely out. I threw out water. I was by myself, so I was kind of nervous. So I called my parents, went to the doctor, said I had a stroke. Then we went on to rehab hospital for about a month. That was a really humbling experience, probably the most humbling of this whole ordeal. I went from being an able-bodied young man, I wasn't even 21 yet, and before my 21st birthday, I had my first stroke. So that completely changed my life. After I recovered, I went back to school that following spring semester, so late January. Everything was going well. I was living off campus, going to class, doing everything. I was a little slower, had a few more body struggles to deal with, but I was in school and I was living my life and I was happy. And then we went for a routine checkup. He kind of looked down and said, it's growing back, and it's growing a lot faster and it's a lot bigger. And I remember sitting there and just like, well, let's do what we gotta do. My mom started crying and my dad was just looking around. So in my mind, I was like, you gotta do what you gotta do. I gotta get past this so I can move on with my life. So my second surgery took place October 1st, 2015. That surgery was difficult in a different aspect. The recovery was more difficult. I spent about a week or two in the hospital, and they actually gave me a spinal tap. That was probably the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. And I had to deal with that. And then I came out of the hospital and they gave me a bunch of pills, and weaning off the pills caused withdrawal. Just the whole ordeal. But again, after the fall semester passed, I was back in school late January to finish up school. And everything was going well. The rest of 2016 into the first half of 2017, everything went as planned, and I was finishing up school, and then I started having weak spells. In the gym, my head would shudder, and I would kind of be wobbling, and I had excruciating headaches. We had another MRI, and it was bleeding again. So they sent me home to be monitored, and then it got worse. Losing balance, numbness, flat on my face, which I still can't feel. The hearing, the constant ringing in my ears. There was a point at which we took a picture of me, and my left eye just completely was not focused. So I looked like kind of like a serial killer. Like my left eye was staring straight, even if I was looking right. So it just got worse and worse, and I started around this time. I think we were trying to see what the doctors could do, and my first doctor, Dr. Jonathan Sherman, he didn't feel equipped to do the surgery. The second surgery was done by a different doctor who actually moved to a practice in Seattle, Dr. Zachary Litvak. So he sent us to a doctor in Rutgers, Dr. James K. Lew. And when I got there, we had the consultation, and we found out he didn't take my insurance. And we were kind of stuck, like, what are we going to do now? So we had another referral to a doctor in Baltimore, Dr. Lim. And he seemed very hesitant to do surgery, so he referred us to a cancer doctor to see about radiation, if that would have any effect. We didn't want to go for it. Around this time, I had started to GoFundMe, and you guys were contributing, and I was posting videos, and everything was in motion. We just didn't know where we'd go. And then one day we got an email from all the doctors that say Dr. Lew was the best guy for the job. So we set a date, which was October 12th, which is today. And we went up and had the surgery. And the surgery went well, but the recovery and the aftermath were very traumatic. I spent a month in that hospital dealing with hallucinations. I thought I had got kidnapped, or was trying to get kidnapped by the doctors. I dealt with just there's changes in my physical appearance, changes in my physical abilities, changes in my weight, loss of appetite, being away from everybody, not being able to put words together, losing my memory. It was a lot of things I had to deal with. And that was just the month I had in the hospital. And I also caught an infection, so I had to stay longer. It was a long ordeal. It felt like forever. And I went to the rehab hospital, and you know, it's kind of difficult to describe because everyone comes to see you during visitation hours, but then you're by yourself once everybody leaves. That was difficult, but I got through it, and I came home, I want to say November 15th or November 20th, right in time for Thanksgiving. So I definitely came home. I was still on different medications, and it really slowed me down a bit. And just like after you lose a loved one, after all your family leaves, it's just you by yourself. And I was here, but my parents had to go to work. My sister went to school, so a lot of the time I spent by myself. And that's from right up there. That's where I started doing some of the videos after the surgery, and it was really difficult to keep it together. People were there for me though, like Sydney, Buddha, and 13, and Erica, Michaela, and people that came to see me, and everybody that came to my party, everybody that donated to the GoFundMe really kept me going and gave me the option to pursue greater therapy and to aid in me getting back to health. I also was pushing myself mentally to snap out of that depressive state of mind. It was hard, it was difficult, but it was also a lesson to learn that I could get through these things. I could overcome my own adversity. And now that's why I'm starting that company, Overcome Adversity. I'm starting that brand to use my story to use my story as leverage to teach other people how to get through their own traumas, deal with their own struggles, overcome their own adversity. And I did. And I went back to work. I got back into the swing of things. I Ubered everywhere. Still not driving just yet, but Car's waiting for me. So I'm happy with my life right now, regardless of everything I've been through, everything I had to deal with, everything that was forced upon me. And I know that wasn't my fault, but that was a bigger plan. And I think the plan was to give me a story to help other people see a light at the end of the tunnel. So today is October 12th, 1 year later. Thank you to everyone who donated to the GoFundMe, everyone who sent me well wishes, everyone who sent me checks, who came to visit, who have just been there following my journey, and those that continue to follow my journey through Instagram, Facebook, and just commenting and just showing me that I had a bigger community around me than I thought. Thank you to everyone for everything, whether it be a text, a call, DM. I really appreciate it. And it's got me to this point, and now I'm hoping I can find a way to get back to you. So it's been 1 year later. Peace.